Hey guys, TarkeCat here, and I want to talk about Cadiro farming and an even better way of doing Cadiro farming. Now, what I have in my inventory is all of the currency I obtained over a 7-hour stream. Yes, 7 hours is quite a long time, however most of my stream is me pausing, talking to chat, and this, that, and the other. It's not like pushing super hard. So just from farming Solaris 1, which is now what I recommend for Cadiro flipping, and case spawning, I got all of this currency. Ignore these 42 coins, those were just some random leftovers. I have 4,142 coins left. At this point, you know, that's merged with coins I've had from previous days, and I've been buying a lot of items. Now, as you can see, I'm doing pretty okay currency-wise when you add up all of these chaos. All of these chaos. This is really the only trading I'm doing. I'm not mapping. I'm playing probably, if you add in all of my playtime of the entire day, I'm probably getting maybe 8 hours of solid gameplay a day, maybe tops, but I would say it's much less than that. Now, this isn't a fully optimized speed clearing character, and also today I have managed to get my hands on these 3 notables and a bunch of other small ones, but these are like the big notable ones. So I got a Shadows and Dust class Mitts, which I've priced at 35 chaos, which is very fair if you look at PoE trade and you look at the relative, value of it. I got myself a 18% increase in intelligence Whispering Ice, which I valued at 40C. I haven't gone stupidly high because the cast speed isn't huge. And I also managed to pick up a Valkio Sign Topaz Ring. Now, these are the 3 things I've bought today, which is why my currency's been a bit low alongside other things I've spam bought. This is ignoring all of the jewels I'm obtaining, and I'm getting a lot of jewels, and that's also ignoring all my divination cards. Now, one thing which is often overlooked with cache farming is just how much currency you make with the side things. The way the caches work is if you look at the challenges and you look at the lists of all the different caches. So if we just quickly bring up here, 1 second. So each different cache has different things in it. So the archive gives maps. Now for Solaris, you're only going to be getting tier 1 maps, so not that amazing. Cache is coins. Catalog is divination cards. Chest is coins. Coffer is coins. Hoard is coins. Jewelry is the other big one. Jewelry gives you all the jewelry pieces but jewels. You can get belts, rings, necks, but the jewels are the big one. I've been getting a lot of jewels. I've been getting more jewels in the last 2 days farming Dread Thicket and Solaris than I have in the last 2 leagues. Not only are you encountering a lot of caches, you're also encountering a lot of strong boxes. I'm getting a lot of Arcanist strong boxes, which is, explaining my currency. I'm not getting anything too crazy, like I'm not recording Exalt drops, I'm recording Chaoses, I'm recording, Jewelers, Fusings, all this just random stuff. That's ignoring the price of the Chaos alone, that's ignoring the price of the currency that I'm obtaining. If you start trying to price in the price of the coins, I value them about 90 to 110 to 1C, but that's completely warped anyway because you buy a Mariwaki for 500 and flip it for 2k. A dude on Reddit bought a mirror for 13k. The reason why Cadiro is so good and why everyone should be farming Cadiro if they don't care about mapping. If you care about mapping, don't do this. Is just the relative speed you can do it. So I'm going to very quickly show you how the run operates and talk a tiny bit more about it. But by now you've probably gotten the point from all my previous videos. So go to Solaris Temple. This is the quickest way of doing it. You'll end up in Solaris 2 and run backwards. Now other people have been reporting that, oh, Tidal Island is good, this is good, that is good. The item level of the zone is pretty important. You can get Chaos Recipe, and all of those Chaos I showed you earlier are not from Chaos Recipe. I have 3 tabs just full of rares that I need to sort through later. But I didn't want to include those in the total currency dropped because I couldn't be bothered to sort through all of that, work out which day stuff came from. As you can see, we're already getting Forsaken Masters. I'm going to skip that. You get a lot of Forsaken Masters doing this. Now, the item level is, well, the item level of the zone is 64, meaning you can get up to 66 from the rares. And my theory with Cadiro, which seems pretty much proven by the fact that I haven't had anyone tell me otherwise, and I've been asking a lot of people who've been coming in and out of my stream, no one seems to be getting items higher than the zone they're in. So if you want to be farming Cadiro spawns, you don't want to be doing Cadiro in a low level area, right? If you're doing them in a low level area, you're limiting the pool of uniques you want. I'm just going to pass that one because CBA. Now, if you're doing Tidal Island, which some people are for the very fast resets, you're limited by the very low item level. You can't get any of the good things. You can't get the carcass jacks. You can't get the sort of medium tier uniques which you just easily flip for an Exalt. Every time you do a Solaris 1 run, every single time, not like Dread Thicket, but every time you do one, you will encounter a cache. There is a high chance of countering Cadiro. You may not encounter him in 10 runs, but because you can reset this so rapidly and so reliably, it's very easy. Now, I'm going to skip a lot of things just for the sake of this video and keeping things short, but you get the idea. There's a lot of rares, the item level is pretty decent, and the mobs are incredibly easy. This is the big thing about this, and this is why I keep calling for some form of nerf or changes to the numbers. The resistance is incredibly low. I've always considered Path of Exile to be a game of resistance, a game which is pushing you and you're pushing back. There is no resistance here. I don't need magic find, I don't need quantity, I don't need anything. All I need is a character which can clear these ribbons. If I can clear the ribbons, then I'm good to go. And I just go backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards and forwards. So, you go all the way through and you go, wow, Tarky, you've said you can never not get a cache. This is the first time in the entire day I haven't had a cache, so apparently there is a chance, but it is incredibly low. Obviously this happens when you record the video, so take that with a grain of salt. So we'll reset back through. And again, you just go through it as quick as possible. If you wanted to optimize the strategy, you do it with a Reeve character. I would think because Reeve is very powerful, you can easily get super amounts of attack speed, you can whirl around all over the place. Again, you would normally kill things, you'd normally open strong boxes, you're normally going to be clicking on all the things. However, I find that you need to make sure that you're clearing all the corners. If you don't check corners, you often miss Cadiro. He has a habit of spawning in these tiny little bits that you don't necessarily notice. And that's not a place you want to be. So I'm going to go back and just check this just in case. Right, there's nothing here, that's fine, get back down. So you very quickly learn the patterns of how to do this quickly, how to do this slowly, when you should be resetting, when you shouldn't be resetting. But I generally just like to full clear backwards and forwards. Now some people swear by also resetting Battlefront when they get to that end, and they like to whirl down to the bottom of the stairs because there's a pretty good chance you'll get a coffer at the bottom of the stairs. I've tried that multiple times, and while you do get it, I find it a little unreliable. I find it generally slows me down, and I prefer doing this because the problem you have with the Battlefront method is you often get baited into searching too hard for the chest, and then you just slow yourself down. Whereas this is very easy. You just do a quick pace, back and forth, back and forth. Now, I'll do a couple of runs just so you can get the general idea of the things. But as you can probably imagine, well, if you're resetting this quickly, you're full clearing this quickly, and the item level is good enough to be getting things, and you're getting all these master missions, which is very good at start leave, getting all these treasure boxes, then yeah, okay, I can see why you're getting so much currency. Now, this is obviously going to change with variants. You know, you can luck out, you can get a mirror if you do this. If you did this every day for a month and one day you got a mirror, then you average out your results, it will be heavily skewed. You could do this and never get anything, but the chances are, from the people who've been coming in my stream and been trying this alongside me, you seem to consistently do well. Most people who are like not investing their coins, I invest my coins very heavily, which is why I'm so low on them. And also, I'm not farming this as hard as people in my chat. People in my chat have been doing this for like 20 odd hours now. Now, general rule of thumb, if you're not sure if something's worth buying, okay, so I'm going to run back just to check that bottom bit, is if you're ever not sure if an item's worth buying off Cadiro, just go on PoE trade. Also, I highly recommend that you are always in global chat. Items are often being posed in global chat, which like, oh dude, I got this item but I can't afford it. Now, if you're doing this method, you always have a surplus amount of coins, meaning you can afford most items. I get a lot of very good deals doing this, and if you were to do this alongside buddies, this, that, and the other, then that's very good. If you want to farm this in a group, I highly recommend that if you want to multi-box this, not that I condone multi-boxing, I think it's bad for the game, but if you were, then obviously you're going to do all that stuff solo. If you want to do this in a group, I recommend you all solo run, because the real value comes from Cadiro. The amount of variance in Cadiro means your potential highs are incredibly highs, and the caches and strong boxes act as a leveling out mechanism. So they keep you at a steady income, and the Cadiro is the real icing on the cake. If you're smart and you keep your eye on trade chat, then you're in for a real treat. Now, again, this isn't going to be better than endgame mapping when you have the fully optimized characters doing the really high maps, getting all that XP, getting all the nice bases, and all of that stuff. However, if you want a cheap, easy, and safe way of making currency, I highly recommend this. It requires absolutely no effort at all, as you can see right here. And as such, I do think some changes are needed to the system for the sake of the game. Now we'll complete this run, and then I'll end the video. If you have any questions about this method, then please leave it down below. I am streaming on and off over the next few days, so make sure to stop by if you want to ask me any questions live there. So let's see this. And again, if you're going to do this, and if you're going to do this for only 10 minutes and then leave a comment below saying, oh, this seems terrible, then, you know, you're going to get hit by the whole variance thing. It evens out when you do it over time. And that's just the end of it. So yeah, I'm Tarku. There is a cat somewhere. Here it is. Have a good day. Bye-bye.